Hey listeners, it's almost Farm Progress show time, and just wanted to remind you that Ag Leader will be on display. And that's going to be one of those booths that you want to check out at the Farm Progress show here in 2022. Lot 517, it's a big enough booth, you're going to be hard to miss, but the best thing about it is you swing in there, tell them that you heard it on Farm4Profit, and you'll get entered to win their 30th anniversary giveaway prize. So congratulations to Ag Leader for 30 years being in business. Stop by their booth, see what the latest application technology looks like, which is RightSpot, in action, live for you to see. Also learn about Cart Ace, which we're teasing you about this show. It'll be one of those we feature on a topic here. So check out Ag Leader at the Farm Progress show, Lot 517.
Had to drive by that field every day, all year long, watching my weeds get out of control past the point where I couldn't do anything about it. And, to me, 3 years ago, I thought, this is the end of my farming career. I'm done. There's no turning back. But my dad told me, he said, disaster does not describe you. It's a lesson. And you just got to learn with it, roll with the punches, and just tell yourself, I will not do that again next year.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Kind of like putting Coke in with Busch Light.
Yeah. There is a podcast in Iowa, Farm4Profit was named by they. Fate stirred up a banker near, then quick came an auctioneer. Making profit was their first goal, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Soon may the farmers come to bring us guests and beer and fun. One day when the recording's done, we'll take our mics and go. These formats shook us to our core. With Farm4Fun, you will not snore. The banker set all mics to on, and the mullet of podcast was born. Soon may the farmers come to bring us guests and beer and fun. One day when the recording's done, we'll take our mics and go. Before we knew, conversations grew. Growing corn even said F you. So won't you join Tenor, Dave, Corey, and crew? Please like, share, review. Soon may the farmers come to bring us guests and beer and fun. One day when the recording's done, we'll take our mics and go.
Bush. We're going to do that every show, aren't you? Bush.
Yep.
Hey, welcome to the Farm4Profit podcast. This is Tanner Winterhuff.
This is Corey Hillebo.
We are here to have a little fun. Farm4Fun episode here on a Thursday morning, or maybe you picked it up later. It comes out on Thursday.
Yep.
2 different show formats, Farm4Profit, Farm4Fun. This is where we focus on a person. Profit, we focus on a topic. Same host, same location. We're sitting in the same chairs.
I mean, honestly, probably the best time to listen to this, like Friday, late afternoon after a long week of work, crack a beer with us and hang out.
That's right. We need to do better on telling what mixtures we're going to have so they can go to the grocery store before they listen to the show.
Ah, like a schedule.
Yeah.
Like a mix schedule. That'd be hard.
Mixology.
Yeah.
Pause right now. No, I'm just kidding. So, yes, thank you for listening. If you have a review, you want to leave it for us, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, we appreciate those. Leave us 5 stars, of course, nothing less. And you can send us emails, farm4profitllc@gmail.com, or shoot us a text, leave us a voicemail, 515-207-9640.
Yep, and as always, today's listener review is brought to you by Gearinghoff, head of the class, no matter the crop. We are getting awfully close to harvest. Might be hard to find one, but hey, I'd think ahead for next year and maybe find one of the district sales guys and maybe get a demo out there.
Yes. Get you a razor. You'll never cut your crops closer to the ground than you will
get
with a
North Star.
razor.
Get anyone. Yeah, try it out. Try it out in corn.
That's the pride that they have, is they have a solution for every field.
Yep.
Put it on
cotton. I don't know if they have cotton.
Sure, I bet you they could combine cotton.
I don't know.
Combine
Don't
coffee.
you pick cotton?
Well, maybe we should try combining it. I think that would be a great idea.
So today's review was a text, or actually, I don't know if you can call it a review. It's a text from the 660342, Bo Ridgway.
Left us his name.
Thank you, Bo. At Farmer Mechanic. Hey, this guy just commented on one of my TikToks trying to buy my semi.
Hey, this guy.
Love listening to the show on my drive to and from work when they come out. You guys definitely help me look at different perspectives to help my small farming operation. Thank you, Bo.
No farm is small. They all are big and mighty.
They all matter.
All farm
all farms
sizes matter. God. Thank you, Bo, for sending us a message. We appreciate that. You guys are what drive us to do this. Sponsors are fine, but you guys are the main reason that we set this up. But what do you think, Corey? New headset?
Yeah, we're gonna give an introduction on the new headset here. We'll see how it works.
New headset, new tunes.
If I sound differently during the show, you guys should tell us.
Yes.
Because this is a new mic.
Yes.
Do I need to wait for the beat to drop on this, or what?
I think so. This is called Corey's Enemy Remix.
So it's got my name in it. All right. Today on the Farm4Fun show, we're going to a state that we have not been before. A state that if you buy the wrong gummy bears, your snack might turn into an experience. This man busted onto the TikTok scene in mid-2020 with his scenic equipment and crop views, TikTok trends, and witty personality. He's compiled over 124,000 followers from Southeast Colorado, Mr. Zach Haase. Haase. Did I say that right?
Haase.
Haase.
H-A-Z-E-H.
What's up, Zach?
Not a whole lot. Sounds nothing like it's spelled, but here we are.
That is awesome. I figured that playing a song like that is my interpretation of what my brain would do after having some of those gummy bears.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Pretty close.
How did the headset sound? I feel like it was a little light.
I turned you down. Maybe I shouldn't have turned you down.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going off my ears. So I was trying not to. So this headset has a mic that comes off the headphones down to my lips, and I'm kind of like eating it here. So, yeah, it's a different experience. We're just experimenting here.
That's right. Welcome, Zach.
How we doing?
We're great. So he does a great job of getting us hyped up and getting started. But why don't you give your version of an introduction? Let our listeners know who you are.
Well, like they were telling, I'm Zach Haase. I'm from Southeast Colorado. We farm kind of where the rain misses everything and the tumbleweeds blow. Not a whole lot going on down here. We're a diversified operation, primarily raising wheat and milo, have a little corn rotation, and then a cow-calf herd on the side. So we got our hands in a little bit of everything and a lot of things different, that's for sure.
So are you all dry land there?
We are. There is scattered irrigation really all around us, except for kind of where we're located. The water table around us, it's around, the 120 to 200 feet, and the best well that you can drill is 5 to 8 gallon.
Oh.
Most houses require 2 wells, so as far as irrigation goes, really the sprinkler system in your front yard is pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, that makes that hard.
Yes.
What's
100% dry land and a lot of dirt blowing.
So what's the family dynamic look like out there on the farm?
So I guess it's I would be the third generation. We started in 2008. So I guess relatively speaking, for as farms go, I mean, we're decently young. My grandpa started it in 2008, and then he had my mom and my uncle now. They're helping, and then my mom brought a Nebraskan down, and my dad, and then he started in 2015. And then here along came me, myself, and really not a whole lot of anybody else. We don't have any full-time help, and it's just kind of just strictly family operation.
So not very many people start a farm just out on a whim anymore.
Well, that's young. Like he said, 2008. That's not even 20 years old yet.
Did your grandpa have experience farming beforehand, or just something he always wanted to do?
Just really something he always wanted to do. He actually didn't even grow up in this area. He grew up maybe, I think it's 80 miles north of us. And then he was in the Navy, came off the Navy, and he always wanted to farm. So he moved down to Southeast Colorado into Eads, where we're located, found an older farmer to help out. And then they kind of began a partnership, worked together. And then his other partner kind of got out of it. And before he knew it, he was head in, doing it by himself.
So he was in the Navy. What did he do in the Navy?
He was actually a barber. He was down in Hawaii, stationed, I can't remember what boat it was, but he was actually cutting hair in the Navy.
My grandpa's a barber. He not in the Navy, but that's fascinating. You forget it takes all roles, all kinds, all types.
Yes. Yep. Something that you never think would be a necessity as a part of it, but those guys go out on the boat for weeks, months, not coming back. So it's something that I would have never thought about it if my grandpa wasn't a part of it.
Wow.
So something unique.
So I don't know if you can see this, Corey. I pulled up where EADS, EADS.
Kind of
Yep, that is correct.
east, maybe south a little bit from Colorado Springs.
Yeah, definitely south and east of Denver.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, anywhere we go, it's about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Straight.
2.5 to Denver, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, Garden City.
Yep.
Where's LaSalle from you?
LaSalle. I don't know if I'm familiar with LaSalle.
The only reason I know that is we used to do some corn drought research out there and would drive out there and check it out.
Would you sleep the whole way out there? You didn't know where it was?
It's a long ways through Nebraska, so yeah, it's Nebraska. You definitely sleep.
There's nothing to see. Nothing but bad corn in Nebraska.
Yeah, when you get past the corn, there's nothing.
So you said wheat, sorghum, a little bit of corn. Is the corn grown for the livestock, or is it just to fit the rotation?
Well, I guess as far as sorghum goes, it's not a Roundup ready crop yet. So the only way that we can really control most of our grass is by rotating in a year of corn, get the grass under control, manage that, and then go back with a rotation of sorghum after that.
What's an average yield for corn out there in an arid climate like that with no irrigation?
When I tell most people this, they just kind of give me a funny look, like, why in the world are you still farming out there? But for us, a normal corn yield could be 45, 50 bushel.
Yeah.
That's average. If someone told me they pulled a 3-digit number out of a field, I would probably second guess their logic on that. So as far as 100 bushel corn yield down here, it's almost unheard of, unless you get more south in irrigation or further east and they kind of catch a little more rain on the other side of the county. But around us anyways, it is dry.
So when ground sells out there, what's an acre of land go in your area?
Well, recently we've had a couple large investors kind of come in and start buying up all they can get their hands a hold of. But the old average used to be $850, $900 for an acre of farm ground. And now it's kind of almost doubled. We're approaching probably time and a half for sure. The last couple sales that I've seen have been $1,500 or $1,700 an acre. And for corn, 45 bushel corn and 30 bushel wheat, that really does not pencil out very well.
I was just going to say, we need a 1031 exchange out there and just buy up half the state.
Yeah, but that yield isn't very good. I asked that question because I roomed with a guy from Western Kansas in a PAS conference in college, and I remember him talking, if they got 80 bushel corn, they were living high on the hog, So you don't get to talk to those people very often, so it's kind of interesting to see. And I like the whole concept. I had a field that was just pure sand, and I talked to that guy, and it's like, what am I doing wrong? I can't grow 11 bushel corn. In 2012, we had that drought.
Right.
So you got to lower your populations. So you guys are big, like low pop mafia style. How many seeds per acre? Yeah.
Yep. I've seen a couple 9,000 populations out here. For the most part, we're around like the 12.5 range. Yeah. I don't know what you guys are planting back there, but a bag of corn for us, it goes a long ways.
35,000, I would say, would probably catch a lot here in central Iowa.
You wouldn't get anything done but filling the planter with seed corn.
Yeah. Yeah, our seed cost gets to be $100 an acre pretty quick.
This is why central field planters were made.
Yeah. Huh.
See, I fill my central field planter and I don't got to look back for a week before it runs out.
You can cover a lot of ground.
I mean, You haven't been in it very long, but I've said that these like drought guards and Aquamax and these hybrids that are grown for drought have changed the game more for you guys than it probably has for the Corn Belt. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. And with a lot of our drought guard and Aquamax products that we're seeing, on a disaster year, our goal is not grain. I mean, it's a bonus if you can, but the majority of the time in a disaster year, we're just looking for cover because we're farming on sand. And once that sand starts blowing, you could be 2-3 years before you have a crop decent enough to harvest after that. So the biggest thing for us in these Aquamax products is at least it produces a plant to give you cover, give you that something to hold the ground down, hold the sand in place. Because without that, we were having problems with just chiseling all winter long, just doing anything that we could to keep the dirt from moving.
I didn't even think about that.
Saved a lot of operations.
So then in a bad year like that with cattle, are you then still going to try and either roll it up or chop it, use it for forage?
No, we'll just go ahead and leave it. Even our fully matured corn, if it gets 4 foot tall, that's decent. A lot of our disastered corn, where you go across it, might make 15 bushel. It's barely tall enough to even fit in the corn head at that point. So as far as chopping it or baling it, there's not enough organic material out there to really pay for the operation itself. So a lot of times we'll just bale like our CRP grasses, if they would happen to release it for disaster grazing or disaster haying. And then that would be the majority of the feed that we would get on a year where we would not have enough grass to sustain herd.
Well, how's this year look?
This year we are wetter than we have been in a long time. We caught late rains through wheat harvest. We were completely dry, so most of the corn it's burnt up now, and some of it could look like you could harvest it at any moment. But as far as the milo goes, it is kind of surprising me with how well it held on. I think we could be looking at least an average, maybe a little above for the year that we've had.
Good.
That's cool.
That is. That's very cool. So then you talked a little bit, you said cow-calf herd. So is that pasture grazing, or what do you guys have for a setup there?
Yep, all pasture grazing. Our stocking rate is probably like 30 acres per pair. Lower vegetated acres, it could be up to 50 acres per pair. So as far as ranch land goes, you need quite a bit to really sustain any sort of reasonably sized herd out here. So it's all just strictly pasture grass, and it's some pretty hilly, sandy ground that you couldn't put a tractor on if you wanted to. So it works out all right.
Right. And like you said in your introduction, you used the word diversified.
Diversified. Yep.
No.
And I mean, down here, the easiest way to make it is getting your foot in about anything that you can get it into. If farm ground has a disaster, you have the cows to take care of you. If you have a disaster with the cow herd and the grass doesn't make it, have to pull some off. Well, hopefully the farming will continue to pick it up. I guess I'm also involved in Pioneer seed sales. I took that over last year. Got 3 streams of revenue. So no matter what happens, I guess I'll be okay somehow.
See,
no matter what.
Fed right into that with the old Aquamax, and he knew what I was talking
It's
about.
like you knew.
I'm surprised he didn't know where LaSalle was, though, then. But he probably has the research right in his back door.
That's fair.
But it was crazy when we went there, like, because they all have drip irrigation, so they can provide 2 inches or 8 inches or all the way up to what a normal Iowa farm would have. And it was interesting to see the Aquamax or those technologies bred for drought versus non. And even in a disaster year, it still looks like crap, but it might be crap 30 bushel corn instead of crap nothing.
That's fair.
So.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was LaSalle where they were doing those impact test plots?
Probably. Well, Impact's all over, but they probably did have. I used to be on an Impact team, actually, and they probably had some out there. So, yeah, you would have a 5-acre chunk of 200 different hybrids in it with a bunch of check strips and stuff. So, good way to do research.
Yes. A lot better than just one strip of variety through the middle and call it a test plot.
Yeah. That's a PKP plot.
What is
Product knowledge plot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, are you out there in your area? Can you get Busch Light?
Absolutely. It's not near as common because we only drink the Rockies.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
no.
Busch is here and there. If it wasn't for the tractor on the can, nobody would buy it.
Oh.
But
Well, just so you know, it's the official beer of the Farm4Profit podcast.
Yeah.
official beer.
So we thank Busch Light for putting the farmer's corn to work.
So what are we going to do?
Well, we've been mixing all this time. Corey, what do we got to mix this time?
So we're continuing our series of mixing stuff with Busch Light. This is Coca-Cola.
Yeah, not Coke.
Yeah, that'd be a good time. Coca-Cola here, spurring from the Mountain Dew that Chuck Weldon did. So I don't know that this will be good. I could, the dark pop.
I'm afraid it's going to take over.
Yeah, mix it 50-50.
Turns right into coffee.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
give it a little try.
Bottoms up.
I've seen some odd combos in my life, but never have I seen a soda and a beer mixed in the same cup.
I mean, it's not bad, but
don't-
it does overpower. It just tastes like Coke.
The aftertaste is not good.
Yeah,
This
that's
the-
the first one. I mean,
If we do another one, we're going to have to do a little bit less.
it's 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. That's fair.
Yep. I'll still drink it.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't rush out there to dump that into your beers from the Rockies either. That's We had a show with Lane Gorel and threw some orange juice in it, and then another one we threw a Monster Energy drink in.
That's good.
Those are both by far much, much better.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with an orange beer, but
Yeah.
Monster might have a little too much energy for me when I'm trying to relax and drink a beer.
Yeah.
Just depends. You're right. Depends on your setting. If you're day drinking or you're trying to calm yourself down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even ask. Are you even old enough to drink?
I am.
Oh,
Just
there-
barely 22 years of age.
Oh, man.
So
There you go.
I always get that you look a lot younger than what you are. But
That's fair. That's the only reason I started growing a beard, and then it just never left.
yeah, I got to keep a little down here just so people kind of think I'm older in high school.
Right. Nobody ever wanted a loan from somebody that looked like they were 16.
That's true.
So you had to look like I was 30, and now I'll be 30 for like 20 years.
There you go. So let's talk TikTok a little bit. What got you into that?
That purple green filter that they had, I don't know.
I remember
years
that.
ago, it turned everything green purple. So I was like, I drive green tractors, the only kind there is to drive. So I might as well do something with that. And then, it got all of maybe 10 views. So I really didn't spark an interest by no means, but just kept on it. Then I got a 360 camera, and I like messing around with that pretty good. It's an easy way to make some cool content.
Yeah,
So
I was
that's
going to ask you about that. That 360 camera is cool. Like, it's in your cab, and then it's like turning. Are you turning it, or does it actually follow things?
So when you record it, you get a full 360 of recording. And then when I go to edit the film, I just select out of the 360 degrees it's recorded what I would like to focus on.
That makes sense.
That's what we need in the studio.
Okay, plug it. What is the 360 camera?
GoPro 360 Max.
Okay.
No kidding.
Yep, that is the real deal.
GoPro 360 Max. So you're saying that if we put it right here, I know listeners can't see my finger, and Dave's sitting across from me, I'm sitting here, and Corey's sitting here, that it's gonna do the whole thing. And then if we find a joke or a clip or something that we actually say that might be intelligent, we can select the conversation.
Yep, exactly. You can zoom in on one person, crop it to the 916 to fit Instagram or 3:4 to fit Instagram or whatever it is, and then be able to fill your whole screen and it doesn't look warped or odd shaped or nothing.
And that's 1080p or, good quality?
Shoots in 5K.
5K.
Whoa. That is game changing.
Why have I not heard of this before? Too old. Too old. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to have one of those ordered before the end of the show.
That's pretty cool. So do you like the video editing side of things?
I do. At first it was a lot past my technology level. It was way over my head. But as I kind of learned how to do it more, I got a video editing software. Now that I've somewhat mastered that, I really enjoy doing it. It's something that I would have never guessed I'd gotten into. But now that I'm into it, it's something that I can really roll with.
So what do you use to edit in?
LumaFusion. So you have to use the GoPro app to select the degree of where you want to film. And then after you get that selected, then I upload it to LumaFusion. And then that's where I do most of like my cutting, or if I want to overlay a sound on top of it, record another audio. And basically all the splice work goes into LumaFusion.
Our minds are blown.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I've never heard this GoPro 360 for GoPro.
Yeah.
Normally people say what? Adobe Premiere and CapCut.
Yep.
So,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I wanted a little more than CapCut had to offer, but I didn't want to pay what Adobe had. So LumaFusion's kind of the beginner just with a little more juice to it, I guess.
Okay.
I took a couple big gulps out of that Coca-Cola beer, and then I filled it back up with beer. It is better with less Coca-Cola in it.
Okay. Well, I could try that.
Yeah, just in case everybody was keeping score.
And it looks like one of those dark beers with the froth on top.
Yeah, it kind of does. Oh, that's pretty funny. So then you running around out there with a girlfriend or a wife or anything like that?
I am girlfriend. Yep, I brought her back from Nebraska. Well, she's still up there now. She does crop insurance. So I'm kind of hunting down my future business partner, you know.
There you go.
So, yeah.
You said your dad was from Nebraska too.
Yep, he is. He's from North Central, and she's kind of from the southeast corner.
You already made sure she wasn't a cousin.
Correct. Yeah, we had to go opposite corners. Can't bring Alabama into Colorado.
That's pretty cool. You said you met at college, or where'd you say you met?
Yeah, college. So I ended up going to college in southeast Nebraska at Southeast Community College there in Beatrice. Spent a year there, got an associate degree, and then came back. Farming full time now.
What was your degree in?
You know, I'm not 100% sure what it's called. It was of science, 2-year degree in
Bachelor's of Science?
It's applied science, and I think it was like agricultural management, maybe.
Science of it didn't really matter.
Science of I went there to get the paper, learn a few things along the way, and got for the experience of not living in Eads for a while.
And meet a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You didn't become
make better corn than me.
You didn't ever make it up to any Nebraska football games, did you?
I did once. I watched one game. You know, that's actually my team is the Huskers, so it worked out perfect.
Ooh.
30 miles from Lincoln.
Ooh.
I'm sure that's not what you guys were looking for. Was the Husker chant right there?
I don't know. Now, since they left the Big 12, it really didn't matter.
Yeah. Now they should get beat up on all the time. Isn't Frost? He's got one more year and he's gone probably.
Sad to say, I would say you're probably correct.
Yeah.
It was. It's been tough. I would say tough couple years, but it's probably been 10 now, and we keep saying, maybe next year. But I guess that's the farmer optimism rooting the Cornhuskers.
Well, that's kind of the way we were as Cyclone fans there for a while, and I saw a Scott Frost press conference, and he was, it's a really tough conference, and everybody's got really good teams, and the COVID years got a lot of talent with experience, and we're catching up, and he just was saying all the things he needed to say.
Yeah. Yeah. What's it like farming where weed is legal?
Where weed is, people make a lot of jokes like, "Oh, you're a farmer in Colorado.
Yeah.
You must grow weed." They left it up to the counties to be able to determine, like, if you can grow it or not. In our county, it's illegal to grow it. You can consume it, but it's illegal to grow it in our county. So we have counties surrounding us where it is illegal to grow. And 10 years ago versus now, driving through there at night, the whole place is just glowing. A lot of these places that, weren't fit to farm, they're putting greenhouses on, a little bit of water, being able to manage your 1/4 of an acre farm. I think in a way it's kind of saved some areas, but as we all know, kind of the crowd that kind of tends to bring into certain areas, it could bring more harm than good.
Yeah.
So you make up by bringing some sort of agriculture in, but then it's in other areas can let you down. So I'm kind of thankful that it was not passed in our area. I don't know if we would ever switch to do something like that. I mean, I'm sure if the dollar sign was right, we're all farmers. So.
Yep.
The glowing comment, I was imagining before you said greenhouses of like the large prison lights on poles. So the whole field was lit up and barbed wired fences.
Yeah.
Or razor wire, not even barbed wire, razor wire.
Yeah.
Keep people out.
And there are several places that do grow it that way.
Really?
And it looks like a prison compound sitting out there. Because I have no idea how they grow it, but I assume that they start them in greenhouses until they get big enough to kind of sustain themselves in the elements. And then they move them outside to the outdoor growing areas, as far as I know.
Knowing how much a little bit of weed costs, I mean, just a 1/4 acre, you'd probably have $1 million worth of stuff. I mean, you probably have to have armed guards out there. And like you said, the crowd that comes along with it, they might not think twice about jumping that fence to go get some.
Yeah, cut your fence down, run in, run out, and they just stole 50 grand from you.
Yep.
I didn't think about it in that perspective. That adds up pretty quick. Well, Zach, we've been having a little bit of fun with some of our guests here, shows that you might not have had the opportunity to listen to yet, since we're recording this here at the end of July, of playing a game. And maybe you might be too young. I think I said this last time, but you might be too young, so I'm going to try it. Did you ever grow up playing the Do, Marry, Kill game? Where you get three...
I don't think I did.
So the concept is you get three choices, and you have to pick if you're going to do them, marry them, or kill them. And usually as young boys, it was hot people, hot women.
Yep.
And you'd go that route. So we modified it just a little bit, and we've been changing the rules each show. So your rules are you have to eat it at every meal, you have to cook or make it every day, or you're allergic to it, deadly allergic to it.
So if you cook it, aren't you going to eat it?
No, you don't have to eat it, but you have to cook it every day.
Well, I can't cook very well, so we can burn it. I guess, as well.
Yes. So either eat it for every meal, like you have to have it with every meal. You're required to make it. Whether you eat it or not, you got to make it every meal. Or you are deathly allergic to it, can't eat it ever again.
Eat, cook, allergic to.
Yep. First,
All right.
tacos, pizza, pasta.
I'm not a big pasta guy, so I will say allergic to pasta.
There you
No,
go.
we can just toss that out immediately. But pizza and tacos, especially since my favorite kind of pizza is a taco pizza.
Uh-oh.
That's gonna be a tough one. If I have to cook it but not eat it, or eat it every day, I think I'm gonna go pizza for the eat every day.
Yeah.
And then the tacos, we can just cook it and burn them.
So I was going to play along this week.
Yeah, I can.
And I can't, I mean, it's not going to be very exciting because I would have the exact same reasoning because tacos are easy to make. You dice up the ingredients.
Yeah.
Yep. Cook the chicken, cook the steak, cook the ground beef. Tacos, I'm going to eat pizza because I love pizza too. My favorite is Canadian bacon pineapple. But
Pineapple on the pizza. That's a whole subject in itself. But I throw pineapple on pizza. That's for sure.
So I grew up with a little small franchise in the town next door called Honey Kissed Pizza. And it was some of the crispiest crust. But then on the crust, they always brushed it with a honey glaze. So you'd get a Hawaiian pizza, add bacon to it. So now your Canadian bacon, regular bacon, pineapple with the honey glaze on the crust. Oh my God, I wish I could go back and get that.
Nice. See, I'm switching pizza and tacos around because I'm just going to take a frozen pizza out and throw it on the pizzazz and the timer. So like little to no effort. But tacos you can have so many different variations of and everyone loves.
So we all are going to not eat pasta again.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Carbs are the enemy, but they're all probably going to make us fat. So.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
All right. The next one is Snickers, Twix, or M&Ms.
Snickers is by far the greatest candy bar ever made, and I will take that to my grave. So that will definitely be an eat every day. M&Ms, they end up melting before I could eat the whole bag, typically in the tractor. So then I have a block of molten chocolate with some crunchy stuff mixed in. So that'll be allergic to. And then Twix, I don't even know how you would cook it.
I don't know.
Well, you'd have to run the factory because there's a left factory and a right factory. At least
So this is a complicated project, cooking a Twix every day.
Yeah.
I think it would be, according to the commercials. This one doesn't really play out very well.
No.
I like Twix, so I think Twix would be what I would eat every day. I hate the idea of throwing and being allergic to a Snickers because I do also love a Snickers, but I feel like it'd be a lot easier to make M&Ms. Once you figured out the candy shell, the coating,
Yep.
I think I would make M&Ms every day.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You want to do one or two more?
You can do another one.
Potatoes, sweet corn, or green beans?
Potatoes, sweet corn, and green beans. Potatoes is the go-to on every meal. So potatoes is probably going to be cooked every day just because I can make it real quick. And then the corn, I could deal with eating sweet corn every day. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then green beans, we'll put that allergic to.
God, I'm not going to make this very exciting because I'm the exact same thing. But I got made fun of at banking school, and yes, it sounds just as nerdy as or it is just as nerdy as what it sounds. But I hate the squeakiness of green beans in my teeth. Like when I eat a green bean and it's not cooked to the mushy stage when they're still fresh and squeaky. Oh my God, that's like going to the dentist for me. What? You can eat squeaky green beans? It doesn't.
I don't know what you're talking about, the squeaky, but
when you chew on
you
them.
get green beans made right with like some bacon chunks in it, or green bean casserole.
See, I can't give up my sweet corn. I agree. I could make potatoes. I'll just throw the potatoes in a pot or slice them and fry them. But no, I'm getting rid of the green beans.
Real quick, we should have done cake, cookies, or pie. Let's do that one. Cake, cookies, or pie.
A homemade pie. Now you're just making me hungry. It's like 3 o'clock right now, and I've already had lunch looking for supper. So I think I would put pie, probably eat every day. I'm not a big cake guy, though. I don't know, not the frosting on it. Well, it has to be the right frosting. But for the most part, I'm not a big sweet guy. So I think I could put cake as the allergic to and then give me an oatmeal cookie, and that's good. Cook those every day.
Yeah, I'm the same way with a cake.
Yeah.
I'd probably scrape most of the frosting off the cake anyway. A monster cookie for me is my go-to.
Yep.
Monster cookie.
Never had one of those?
No.
So it's your oatmeal cookie that you're talking about, but you throw in M&Ms and chocolate chips?
Well, it goes perfect since you're making M&Ms every day.
That's right. Oh,
So just throw them all together.
look at this guy. He's like a professional
He
host.
listens.
He's got it. Zach
right.
is the man.
All right, this is an actual do, marry, kill. Jennifer Lawrence, Megan Fox, Anna Kendrick. Hopefully you know who those are. Might be a little young.
If you'd give me like some farmers of the area, we'd have a little easier time. But I don't know if I don't know. Could we kill all 3 of them? And be done with it?
I mean, that would make you a murderer.
One doesn't count?
Tanner, you wanna take a stab at it?
This is.
I got mine down.
Yeah, I know. I should have thought about this ahead of time.
I mean, could I ask who has the biggest net worth to farm my farming project?
That's probably the right answer to do.
Yes.
You're marrying that one.
Oh man.
Yes.
The others, who cares? They can battle it out.
Anna
Yeah.
is sneaky. Is sneaky hot.
She's my girl.
I think I'm going to do Anna, marry Jennifer, and kill Megan.
I'm killing Jennifer. I'm doing Megan because her and Transformers. Oh my God! Like there wasn't a single boy that didn't want a stab at her. And Anna Kendrick, man, she's your girl next door, hot, like girl you want to marry. So
There you go.
that's what I like.
Yeah, I feel like we're leaving our women audience out. We're gonna have to. The next one of these we're gonna have to throw in some guys, and maybe we'll phone a friend.
Or we could answer in different ways, like why.
That's right.
Why we would be gay or not gay for them.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, before we jump back into Zach, let's do another beer combo. We're not straying too far away. You're gonna need to put some more beer in this one.
Uh-oh.
We get to drink here thanks to Busch Light, Zach. None of that mountain beer. So they are the proud and only beer sponsor of the podcast exclusively. Oh, that even sounds good in front of your next one here. So as we do this, we're going to do another combination here.
So this is a combination not far from the last one that we did. Cherry Coke and Busch Light.
So don't do this one as strong.
As strong. We're just going to do like a shot. That Coke got a little overpowering.
All right, let's see if this It's
I imagine it's going to be the same. With,
you're not doing the pinky stir. You didn't give it a big old swirl. We don't know where that Zach. We don't know where that finger's been.
Definitely wouldn't want to drink after that cup.
It's just very cherry Coke.
It is. It's
I'm
more overpowering.
5.5. It's just slightly better than the regular Coke.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Dang, we kind of let our listeners down.
It's edible.
Yeah. We kind of let you down this week, listeners. We didn't get a whole lot of...
It wouldn't be fun if they were all good.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair. Busch Light's still good by itself.
If I could locate some sorghum beer, it's Bard's sorghum beer, I will definitely ship a case to you guys. Because that stuff, it's pretty good.
We've never had it.
I've had sorghum beer once. I think Anheuser-Busch made it. I thought they did. It was... Someone brought it to our first crawfish boil, and they left it in our fridge. And I had a couple, and they were like, oh, that's not bad. Stayed in the fridge for a long time after that. But
that's pretty cool.
Do you drink sorghum beer a lot, or you just like it because you grow it?
None of it's really getting sold around us yet. I've had one kind, and it was Bard's, and I forget where I had it from or who brought it up to me. But, I think I tried it just because I grow it, but it wasn't bad at all. It's completely different than what I was expecting it to be.
You know why, Tanner?
Why?
Celiac disease.
Oh, gluten.
There's no gluten in it. That's why you drink sorghum beer.
So now I'm allergic to gluten. So I guess now we got to redo the whole allergic cook eat thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't have to be, but for people that are gluten intolerant, they have a beer that they can drink, because this Busch Light would have gluten in it and could upset people's stomachs. So nice to have an option.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty cool. So what does Zach do in his spare time? But you talked about being diversified. You probably got a lot of stuff going on the farm. When you get to have some fun, what do you do?
My free time lately has been growing smaller and smaller as the years go. But if I do have free time on my hands, it's either washing my equipment. I don't know why, but I've always found it fun to go wax my combine. But if it's anything away from the farm, it would probably going out and doing some hunting. I'm really into upland game, like the quail and pheasant, or in the wintertime, calling some ducks and geese, kind of all small game bird hunting. That's kind of what I do, but I don't do it a whole lot.
You get along with Corey.
It kind of sounds like the trajectory I was on when I was 22 years old. Love doing that stuff. My spare time was shrinking. I've never enjoyed going and waxing things. I need to hire someone to do that.
Like your eyebrows?
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud?
My bikini line. But no, that's fun. I'm hoping to get back into some upland game. We've set aside some acres. Just mowed it this week. Actually have quail moving back into our area that we haven't had for years, so it's kind of nice.
I don't know.
What else? What did we miss? We're not the best at asking everything. Did we miss anything about Zach?
I don't really have a whole lot going on, I guess. But
when you getting married?
Oh, that's a touchy subject. If you had asked the other half, she would say tomorrow.
Well, that's good.
But, I'm more of a meticulous kind of planning stuff out, waiting for the right time. So who knows? It could be next year. It could be 3 years. It's hard to say.
Just tell her you're waiting for her to ask.
Yeah, we're reversing the rules on this one.
Have you tried any of the fake proposals that you see on TikTok where they get down and they tie their shoe, or they get down and they pick the flower out of the grass?
Oh.
I have wanted to so bad and have someone sitting there with a phone camera just acting like it's going to happen, but I don't know if I could take the heat from that one.
Use the 360 camera.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, just set it down, leave it. But
that's a new trend for you. Just start doing that.
5'5" and a lot smaller than me, but I am sure she could kick my butt any day of this week. So I'll stay away from those.
I saw a couple painful proposals in my For You page. I think it was just this week, of girls saying no.
Oh.
And there's a whole group of people around it. And she's just like...
That would be tough. I
no.
think that would be a deal breaker for me. If it's a no the first time, I don't know if I could pull up my my manliness to ask again. I think that'd be it.
I would agree.
Yep. Did you see Chase Barber got engaged?
Oh, I did not.
At S Motors? Yeah.
He knew he was headed on a trip.
Did you know we were the only ones besides his sister that knew before that?
Oh,
Felt
look at that.
pretty privileged about that.
All right, we're setting an expectation, Zach. Before it happens, apparently you got to let Farm4Profit know. And we're really good at secrets.
Yeah.
The best thing.
Then you guys would know before her, and then she'd be mad that I'm telling other people stuff before she knows.
That's all right.
So it's kind of catch-22 on that one.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell her that we talked you out of doing fake proposals, and then everything would be all right.
Yeah.
that might make her rest assured that she's okay.
Yeah. And like I said, we always record ahead of schedule, so you'd have 3 or 4 weeks to do it. And then the show would come out.
Yeah, that it wasn't a spur of the moment. It was, premeditated because I have 2 weeks worth of time to get it done.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
My wife always gives me a hard time because I bought the ring on sale and had it for like 7 or 8 weeks before I actually proposed.
Yep.
How could you do that? How could you know you were going to do it and just wait? It's kind of like him. I meticulously planned this thing out. And
Listen, it was on sale.
There was a Veterans Day sale. I had to take advantage of the sale.
Exactly. $1 saved is $1 earned.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Banker's best friend.
So, Zach, we ask everyone the same question at the end. What is the best advice that you have ever been given? You don't have to answer it right away. You can think about it.
I was actually prepared for this.
Oh, you're prepared.
I was ready for this.
All right, let's just send it.
Maybe not super fan Zoe type prepared, but probably second close.
Okay.
But this is actually only my 3rd year really operating my own ground. And those first 2 years, I might have grown up on this farm and watched every move they made. But it's amazing how far south stuff can go when it's on you that first year, just the little stuff you don't know. So one thing that I was told is disaster does not describe you. The first year I had Milo, I let my weeds get way out of control, and there wasn't anything I could do about it because Milo's super sensitive to begin with. Had to drive by that field every day, all year long, watching my weeds get out of control past the point where I couldn't do anything about it. And, to me, 3 years ago, I thought, this is the end of my farming career. I'm done. There's no turning back. But my dad told me, he said, disaster does not describe you. It's a lesson. And you just got to learn with it, roll with the punches, and just tell yourself, I will not do that again next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Kind of like putting Coke in with Busch Light.
Yeah. Will not describe us. Will not do it again.
We will not do it again.
That's pretty deep coming from your dad, who doesn't have a ton of time under his belt in the farming industry as well. So that's pretty cool.
Right. And he's not a very heartfelt guy. I've had tough love growing up, and I wouldn't want it any other way. It made me who I am. But it's things like that you expect from someone who would not normally say that. That's why I think it stuck so hard.
Yeah. That's really cool. We appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This has been a pleasure. This is, I think, like Corey said, it's our first guest from Colorado.
I was shooting from the hip there. I felt like we had not done anyone from Colorado. So.
We certainly did not have anybody from the desert of Colorado.
No.
I feel honored to represent the whole state of Colorado. Maybe not the whole. I mean, we are way uglier than the rest of the part of Colorado, but happy to describe it.
Yeah, that is awesome. So yes, thank you for hanging out with us, listeners. We appreciate you as well. If you've got ideas or guests that you want us to talk to, farm4profitllc@gmail.com, 515-207-9640. But Corey, why don't you send us out?
Crack a Busch Light. You deserve it.
Awesome.
And one more awesome in there.
Awesome.
Awesome.